afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is your captain speaking. We will be landing in the airport in just a few minutes.
All right, howdy everyone. Welcome back to the channel. You're looking at in front of us here the A2A Aerostar 600 Alpha. Yeah, we're going to be taking a look at this airplane and checking it out today. I'm going to show you some of the features, have a look around. Let's have a little chat about A2A. Let's get rid of this tie down here. There we go. Just picked up this aircraft. I wasn't planning on it. And I was kind of considering grabbing a new aircraft, and I was kind of looking at the Coronado B-55. And then I ran into this aircraft, and yeah, then it became a choice. Do I want try out the A2A Aerostar, which is in its early edition, so they're still working on it. You can see there's still a couple little things that need to be tweaked here. The glass there is flashing, but yeah, that'll something they'll get sorted out in a future update. I have no doubt. But yeah, the deciding factor for me was A2A versus Coronado. I've used many A2A products, and yeah, they're just second to none. A2A doesn't put out a lot of stuff, but the stuff they do put out is like study level, top tier. You can take a look at some stuff. So let's take a walk around and take a look at this aircraft. We'll start here behind the wing. We'll open it up. We got a nice little storage compartment in here. So there's we can close that. That's the only other door that opens. Here's our fuel. You can look into the tanks. You can see our avgas there. We can check that out. In typical A2A fashion, you can walk around and check all your flaps and your ailerons. Make sure everything's working good. Yeah, it's great. You can see there's boots on the leading edges, so this got de-icing stuff here. You can look down here on the bottom. These would be our sumps, I guess. Oh yeah. Yeah, we can go through and check our fuel for water. But yeah, tall landing gear on this aircraft. It's a not pressurized aircraft, so altitude is going to be a thing. Walk forward here. Nacelle should be able to check the oil, and yeah, A2A aircraft as usual. They leave no stone unturned here. We can check our oil. I don't know about the color here. I think they're going to have to fix that, but our oil level's good. It should be a golden color, not blue. It looks like avgas. But, okay. But let's not forget this is early edition. Early access, so they still got a lot of things to clean up and tweak. But I have taken this thing for a fly around, and yeah, it's pretty good as it is so far. Yeah, you can wash. We'll take a look at all that, but yeah, check out the props, the wings. Now this is another great feature of what A2A's done that no other aircraft has done. I was able to click on the door and open the door without it automatically putting me in the aircraft, so I can have the door open while I'm sitting in the aircraft without it putting me out, or vice versa. And we're out here and being able to walk around. Now you can tell I've removed the chocks. There's a cover up here on the pitot. I should give you a look. You saw me remove the back tie down. There's no tie downs for the wings. I hope they add that. But there should be a pitot cover up there. I removed that before I started the video. So yeah, it's giving me issues now. It doesn't want to come off. But yeah, and you can go around and finish doing your inspection. There should be oil here on this engine too. We're gonna have to get in behind the prop here. Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, this one, the color looks a little more like oil and the levels are good. So yeah, so we check your fuel, check our oil, remove your tie downs. You can do your walk around just like the Comanche. Our chocks are off, check our lights, our leading edge. Can check your ailerons, check our flaps. And yeah, our elevators. Yeah, everything seems solid. Good. Let's go jump in the aircraft. Just a clear day. That flashing, it only happens in this view. In the other views, it doesn't. You don't see that. But I have no doubt that A2A will take care of that. Yeah, and this aircraft is already great, and it's not even finished yet. This is the early access. So to get in, all we got to do is just walk up to the steps, and if we point down here on the step, it puts us inside. And see, we can sit here. We can have our door open and whatnot. But yeah. So we can close our door. That's all secured. Let's bring up the A2A tablet. Here's A2A. It's if you're familiar with the Comanche, this looks very similar. Here's all our flight info, and it shows our temperature, our winds. A little bit cool today. We got low winds, 1 knots. Yeah, we got all our checklists here. It's pretty good. All our controls, just like in the Comanche, you can come in here and we can control our wheel chocks, tie downs, parking brakes, all that. We can put the aircraft up on jacks. I'll click that and bring you outside and show you that. There you go. There's the aircraft ready for service, and it's up on jacks. So now if we want to test our landing gear and whatnot, we can bring our gear up, and yeah, we're good to go. So I'll just give you a look at that. And yeah, you can see you can fully access your autopilot from up here. I don't do that. I don't bother with much of this. But yeah, you can set it, your settings. There's some advanced options down here. You can click on the advanced options and your wear rate and your failure rates. Yeah, this is the AccuSim, A2A AccuSim, just like in the Comanche. A2A is renowned for its AccuSim systems. It's pretty good. It has persistent wear and tear on the aircraft, so you got to keep an eye on all your stuff and fix things, and change your oil and keep all of that. And it remembers your state. You can have a choice of radios. I'm using my GTN 750. So yeah, there's that. And here's our fuel and payload. You can set your fuel here. We can top it up. There we go. We got full tanks. And just a solo pilot today, myself. And there's all our weight and balance information. Your center shows you your center of gravity. We're pretty good on our center of gravity. We can continue on. You can change your metrics to metric units or standard units. It's up to you. We got everything in standard units, pounds right here, but we can switch that to metric. And yeah, this page is our maintenance page. It shows us everything. Here's our airframe. We can inspect our airframe, and we can see all our airframe parts and stuff are good. We can wash the airplane. We can clean the bugs off the windshield from here. Yeah, we can go to our engines. Here's our engine. Same thing. We can click inspect. We can inspect all our engines. If we got a faulty part, it'll tell us. Something will show up in yellow, and then we'll have to come down here. Now we've got our choice of plugs that we like to use. I like to use the fine wire, same as inside my Comanche. And you got your choice of oils, and you can add additive if you want. You can overhaul the engine, overhaul all. It's good. Shows up here. It shows your hours of your airframe and engine hours there. We got our engine analyzer, just like in the Comanche. Does the same thing. It's great. Shows you your engine. Great for easy leaning. If you want to lean the engine, your engines, you can do that through here pretty easily. I'm learning to get it done on my field management system there. But yeah, that's our engines and our electrical system. Batteries fully charged when we got everything running. We can see how our alternators and batteries are doing. So yeah, that's the A2A part of the tablet, but it's integrated with the main flight sim tablet. So we can come up here and we can do all our regular stuff here. I can so not only access my Aerostar stuff here, I can my Navigraph charts and my flight planner and all that, my setting, it's great. So yeah, they've totally integrated it with 2024. This one, it was native for 2024 and made for 2024. That's how I found this aircraft, because I was went to check on my Comanche. I did have the Comanche in Flight Sim 2024. But I imported it myself. I just brought it over from 2020 and just put it in my community folder. But I didn't fly it. I was having all kinds of issues with it. It was buggy. Some systems weren't working. There was sound issues. There was all kinds of issues. So, just like everything else about Flight Sim, you just got to be patient and wait for the fixes to come. They usually do. And A2A, in true fashion, they take their time, but when they do things right. And yeah, I was just wondering, hey, how are they coming along? Did they put out a new fix and to integrate the Comanche into 2024? And so I decided to go over to the A2A site and check it out. I've been there several times, and there was nothing's changed yet, but this time when I went over, there was indeed. They did update and up the Comanche for 2024, and so yeah, I went and uninstalled, deleted the Comanche that I ported over from 2020, and I just went and installed the new install from A2A for the Comanche, and it popped my Comanche into Flight Sim 2024, and it works great. I'm going to do a video on that too. It's coming on the tails of this video. Yeah, and that's how I found the aircraft. I heard about the Aerostar, that A2A was coming out with a new aircraft, and it was called the Aerostar, and that it was in early access. I thought, you know what, I'll be patient, and then I was thinking about it in the Baron, but when I was over on the A2A site and looking at my Comanche and stuff, I started looking at the data and the stuff they had on about for this aircraft, and it was starting to look kind of nice. So yeah, I decided, what the heck, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to jump into the early release, and yeah, let's check this thing out. Flown it a couple times, and I've got to tell you, I'm really kind of starting to really like this this aircraft. It's got its quirks, and just like everything else about A2A. Scott over at A2A, this is based off of an aircraft he owns, just like the Comanche. Yeah, there's a bit of a history to the Aerostar. It was originally going to be a jet, but it was changed and turned into the prop. It's one of the fastest twin engine props there is. So yeah, so let's get this thing fired up and let's take it out and let's talk some more about it, and we'll talk about Scott and A2A, some more about A2A. But first, I want you to know I bought this aircraft. I went and paid for it. Anything you see on my channel, if you see me talking about an add-on airport product, peripheral aircraft add-on airport, anything that I've done, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I've gone out, I've bought these things with my money. So I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly about everything. I'm beholden to nobody. So if there's something about a product or a quirk or a bug, I'm not going to try and make products look perfect and this and that. Just like this aircraft, I'm going to show you what it is, what we're getting for early access, which is pretty darn good. But I'm going to show you and tell you why I love something, why I hate it, or the problems I have with it. And a lot of that is, the reason I got this over the Coronado, because I've run into bugs and issues I didn't like that I never run into with A2A, and so I'm gonna mention it. If I like something, I like it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it, and yeah, you can make up your mind from there. Hit my keyboard there. Got me all kinds of messed up. There we go. Okay, so let's stop with the yapping and jabbering, and let's get this thing fired up. So first thing we got to do is turn on our battery. We're going to bring up our thing. We're going to bring up maintenance. And what's going on here? There we go. There's our batteries. So you can see on electrical. Now we got power going to our panels, our stuff. I'm not sure where my master avionics will turn that off for a second. That shouldn't be on. Probably when it remembers your state, so, or maybe, I'm pretty sure I had all that turned off the last time I put the aircraft away, but who knows? It's still in early access. So let's get this thing fired up. So let's get our fuel. Yeah, I don't know. Either I put this away dirty, but I'm listening for that. This is my fuel. See, they're both on. I might have left this on last time I'm playing around with it, but they're on. I got my fuel on, and here we go. Here's our autopilot. We'll talk about all that stuff, but let's get this thing fired up. Now, to get this thing fired up and primed, as you can see, there's no primer and there's no there's the fuel boost here, and we're going to use our mixture to prime it. Now, I found it kind of quirky to start it, but I found my rhythm in getting this thing started, and what works for me. Went through the checklist. Going through the checklist is I have a little bit of problems starting it, but I'm going to show you how I start this airplane, and it seems to work pretty good for me. So first thing we got to do is our fuels are on. We got to listen, and we heard them, right? So they're both on. We're going to turn on the fuel boost. Now I'm going to put my prop for the right hand side. We'll start our right engine first. My prop to full rich. Fuel cutoff to off. I'm going to crack my throttle a little bit. But we're going to turn on our fuel boost here. I'm going to take my right fuel mixture. I'm going to put that on to full for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I bring it down to cutoff, and then I bring it up to about halfway to right about there, and I set my throttle to half. And now I'm going to crank it, and while it's cranking, I'm going to slowly be increasing my throttle. So let's crank it. Now you see, it's going to give me issues. Now I go full rich right there. Yeah, so you see, just like all A2A products, let's bring our throttle RPMs down to 1,000 on that side. Take a look over, and there we go. All right, let's get that left engine started. Same process. Let's bring our prop full forward. I'm gonna throw my fuel on. Boost pumps on. Mixture full rich. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna bring that down. I'm gonna make sure my throttle's on half. I'm gonna bring my fuel mixture up to about half, and let's crank it. Come on, baby. Having trouble with that one. Okay, we'll have to try that one again. Make sure boost is on. Yeah, make sure my fuel's on. It's good. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. Crack our throttle. Let's try it again. All right, we're in business, folks. And there we go. Left engine's going. Now I want to point something else out. Let me hang on a second. Let me get my Tobii eye tracker going here. It works good with this aircraft. I got it turned off. Let me just get it set up here. Okay. Oh, get my mouse back over here. All right, there's the Tobii. Yeah, the Tobii eye tracker, it just it's all native now with the new sim update 3, so you can use our Tobii, and you can see it looks around. Now what I want to point out is this view right here. Hang on, let me turn this off. Let me use this view right here. If you notice that wing, this is a low wing aircraft, and that wing is behind us. We got great view out this window. And these windows up here, later on I'll show you why they're kind of great too. But yeah, we got like great view, almost like a jet out the windows, out these windows and out the front. And yeah, it's just great. So let's go ahead and throw on our avionics. Let's get our alternators turned on. Let's get this show on the road. Give you guys a look at this aircraft here in action. Yeah, it's a fast aircraft. It wants to move once it gets in the air. It just wants to run up. Now, as you can see, me cranking that engine and cranking those engines, I put a lot of drain on the battery. You will drain the batteries and kill your battery out if you. So you gotta get that. You don't want to be mucking around and cranking this thing too much. You got two engines going. But let's go. We got those alternators going. You can see they're putting juice into the battery, so that's good. We can turn our fuel boosts off. Make sure our hydraulics on, our auxiliary hydraulics off, our avionics is on. We'll turn on our autopilot master switch. That's all there. The autopilot's not on, but we'll get that master going. The flaps, they kind of, I thought it was up and down for a second, but there's up, down, neutral, so it's not just one click. You got to hold it and then put it back to the neutral, or otherwise flaps are gonna come all the way down. For a second, at first, I thought, what? There's only an up or down, but yeah, there's a neutral. So if you're putting your flaps down, 10, and then back to neutral for 10% flap. So up same way, and then back to neutral, right? So get it up, back to neutral. So yeah, all the fuses work. So yeah, you can pop and blow fuses. So yeah, it's all good. So let's go take this thing up and take her for a ride. Should have our beacons on already, but let's get them on. Let's get our nav lights on. Landing lights, we don't need those. There's no taxi lights on this aircraft. I guess it would be your landing lights. You would use that for taxiing too, if you want to be highly visible. But we got our beacons and whatnot going. There's our parking brake there. We'll kick off our parking brake and let's start. This thing taxis really nice. I don't use any other thing. A2A does great with the recordings of the sounds they do. How they build their aircraft is phenomenal. If you watch any of their videos on what they go through to get the sounds and stuff they need, and their AccuSim, it's pretty impressive, and it shows in their products. But let's get this out there. Yeah, this thing taxis beautifully. But just like all AccuSim products, you have to get our throttles up. Okay, let's get our strobes on. Get our fuel boost pumps on. Auxiliary hydraulics on. That's just for takeoff in case we lose an engine on takeoff. Let's set flaps 20. Okay, we're gonna set flaps 20, and let's check our engines. We're good. She's warming up nicely. Good. We didn't do a run up, but I just had this thing up, so let's get her out there. Taking this off in this airplane is so nice with 20 degrees flaps. It just like literally floats off the runway. You don't have to like hop this thing into the air. You'll see. Really quickly becoming, I didn't lean out the engines, but we'll do that. We'll get up in the air. We'll do just a quick little flight around Toronto here and come back in and landing, just so you could see what this thing's like. But let's get our engine analyzer up. Okay, Richard, full mix, props full forward. Fuel pumps on, flaps set, we're good. Strobes on, landing lights on, let's go. Rock and roll. Just watch how this thing, floats off the runway. There she is. Just like literally floats off the runway. Gear up. Trim in there, and she'll climb out. She wants to fly fast, this airplane. Let's get our flaps up. to neutral. You gotta trim that airplane or she's gonna climb out on you. You can climb easy 3,000 feet per minute in this aircraft. Okay, let me pull my RPMs back. 2400 RPM. Let's pull our manifold pressure back to about 2300 RPM. Let's get our trimmed out. Control that rate of climb. We'll take her up to about 2500, 3000 feet. And let's go check out Toronto. I'll get her leaned out here in a sec. Get our Toby eye tracker going. Keep her trimmed out. We're out over the west end of Toronto. Turning our way back towards the core. It's 3,000 feet. Let's get those, pull some RPM back. Let's pull some manifold pressure back. Let's start to level this thing out. But just beautiful. I'll let you see. Let me get this thing leaned out, and I'll let you see what and just settled in here. Okay, let's lean out our engines a bit. It's two. Trim there. Yeah. Engines are good. She wants to climb out on me. Neutral. Turn our boost pumps off. Our auxiliary hydraulics off. And there we go. She's settled in, folks. Look at the view outside the window. It's pretty steady. Let's start making a slight turn to the east. Okay, let's bring up some performance. Show you how the system's performing. See what kind of VRAM we're getting, what kind of FPS we're getting. Rocking about 130 FPS here. There's Downs View Air Force Base. The city over there, the core. See that window? That's why I told you what's great about those windows. You can go into a high bank turn and trimmed out here, but look at the speed, and I've got my manifold pressure pulled down. I got my RPMs around 22, 23, and she's up over 180 knots. She wants to fly this airplane. She's fast. You can easily get this thing up to 200, 210 knots. Get her back up. Been too busy paying attention to the scenery. But performance steady as a rock on this aircraft. As you can see, we're up around 140 FPS. The autopilot too works great. Let me get that. Set a heading bug here. Just give you a quick look. Set our heading bug. Autopilot's down here. We can click that on. And there we go. She's holding heading. She's holding altitude. I got altitude on. There we go, altitude. Didn't have it on, but I have it on now. 2,500 feet. Do a left turn here. You can see all the subdivisions and houses down there. But yeah, nice little aircraft, nice little aircraft. The one thing you really do have to manage though in this aircraft is your temperatures. She will heat up fast on you. You know, depending on the day, the outside air temperatures and stuff. No waypoint. Yeah, you will want to keep those exhaust gas temperatures but just giving you guys a quick look. Downsview Air Force Base there again. Okay, let's kick off this autopilot. Take control of this airplane. Let my altitude drop way out there. Let's get her back up to altitude. Pull those RPMs back, get that manifold pressure down, get that speed down, pull that nose up. Gotta hop up a bit to get that speed down. Get one notch of flaps in there. I didn't even turn off my landing lights or anything. But yeah, you can see, let me turn off that debug. Get that out of the way. Get the aircraft trimmed out here. Oh, see the dangers? I wasn't paying attention. I was wondering why I was getting nose heavy there. What I was doing there was bad. I was up against the red line almost. That was not good. Forgot to get that manifold pressure back up. Let's get some RPMs back up. Yeah, that's a dangerous situation in this aircraft. You don't want to get slow. Even on the approach, she wants to fly fast, this airplane. So yeah, you got to be ready for that. Okay, let's get mixture in full rich. We're a little bit far out yet. Keep our RPMs. Bring that manifold pressure down. And we'll bring her in. Our runways just past the downtown here. We're going to keep heading towards that smokestack in front of us. Oh shoot. Had my full flap. See, I'm still not used to that flap thing, man. Alright, retrim the aircraft. Looking for our runway. It's over there. Slow descent here. See, I'm so not used to that up-down. I went down with the switch. I forgot to bring it back to neutral. I was full flaps there. I almost bled off my speed. Could have crashed. Still getting used to this airplane. Okay, let's get our props full forward, mixture full rich. Boost pumps are on. Auxiliary hydraulics on. My runway's in my pillar there. I'm watching out, don't want to take off the top of that smokestack. We'll start turning in. We'll start get our descent going here. Now we can get full flaps in. Trim the aircraft. Get that speed up. You want about 110 short final for 100 over the numbers in this aircraft. So yeah, she wants to fly fast. The approach is fast.
500.
A little bit low there. A lot low there. Yeah, you want to keep that power up. You want to keep that speed around 110. She'll drop out of the sky on you. You don't want to get slow in this aircraft. Oh. Did you see what I all did there? Holy moly. That should have been a go-around, my friends. I was wondering why things felt a little different than it usually does on the approach with this speed management there. I almost forgot to put my gear down. Holy moly. Hey, just wanted to show you just what it is. I'm just really starting. I've only flown this aircraft like couple of times, so cut me some slack. But yeah, I want you guys to see I'm not perfect either, and there's what we had with the plane. So the only reason I did that is because I'm really familiar with this airport. I knew how much runway I had to play with, and yeah, so let's get things cleaned up here. Holy moly. Okay, we're all good. I saved it. I didn't belly it out on the runway. Another reason I did that like that was because flying this plane a couple of times, I noticed the landing gear comes up pretty quick and can go down pretty quick. even if you watch a video of the real of this aircraft, like the real aircraft, um, yeah, the landing gear comes up and goes down pretty quick. That front landing gear almost pops down instantaneous. But I'm not gonna lie, that alarm scared the hell out of me. But yeah, just keep it cool. Fly the airplane. And I absolutely knew I could get my landing gear down and still put the airplane down and have enough runway. But yeah, you can land a lot shorter than what I did there, obviously. But it does good there. It's more takeoff you want to worry about this aircraft on short runways, short field takeoffs. You know, you don't want to lose, you know, when you lose an engine and you got obstacles and stuff. That's more when you need to be more worried about this plane, but it can land pretty good on shorter runways. Okay. At least we didn't crash. Let's kill that. Let's kill that. Auto trims off. We didn't need that. Autopilot can shut off. Avionics master off. Alternators off. Battery off. Mags off. Fuel off. Off. Now you guys are my witnesses. I cleaned this plane up. It's supposed to be persistent. Let me check, make sure I got persistent set up. I'm pretty sure I have that all set up. Advanced option. Yeah, cockpit persistence. I do have that set up. Okay. No. Oh. Yeah, this. Oh, okay. The flaps, I did put them up. The needle drops to 0 when you shut the power off. So yeah, just starting to get the ins and out of all the little quirks. But yeah, see, all the fuses are work, and we'll kill things. There's yeah. So there we go. All done. To get out, see, you can open your door without it throwing you out of the aircraft. And, you know, if you want to do things while you're sitting here with your door open, you can do so. And to get out, you just click on the step. And there we are. Back out. Side, my controller was off. And there she is in all her glory. And then you can walk around and put your chocks back in. Throw our pitot cover back up there. Our tie downs here. Throw our tie down back up. And there you have it, folks. Not the greatest piloting in the world. Close the door, we can come up here. And that's it. Can come over here and say hello to our friends. Hey everybody. All right, there she is, everybody. The A2A Aerostar 600 Alpha. I think when it's already really nice. By the time A2A finishes all their touch-ups and cleanups and tweaking and adding what they're gonna add to this, this is gonna be a fantastic aircraft. I can't wait to see the features that are still yet to come that haven't been added. Let's not forget it was early access, and it cost me almost $70 Canadian for this aircraft. I think it was, I can't totally remember the price. It was $34.99 or $35 or something US. But don't quote me. Go over to A2A. I'll leave you a link down in the description below. Go over. I encourage you to go over, check out this the A2A site. If A2A, for me, as far as I'm concerned, A2A is the PMDG or Phoenix of general aviation when it comes to aircraft. Their aircraft is study level. Both this one is going to be study level, and the Comanche. If you don't own the Comanche, one of my all-time favorite aircraft. You do yourself a favor. If you don't have the Comanche, you won't be disappointed if you grab the Comanche. Lots of good reviews. Everybody loves that aircraft who have flown that aircraft, and I think this is going to be pretty much on the same lines as that. So there you go, friends. We'll leave it right there. As always, stay safe, and until next time, keep the blue side up. Later.